What up, fam? I know it's been a little bit since I made a video. Just been working. Stressful week. A lot of crazy shit going on. Good and bad. So today, I'm sure as most people know, Jerry Sandusky from Penn State was found guilty on a bunch of charges of child abuse and sexual assault and rape and all kinds of things. And the reason this man got away with this so long is because nobody did anything. Now, this is going to lead into more about what my video is about, but I just kind of wanted to start it out by saying the reason the man got away with it so long is that because nobody said anything. And the people that did were kind of just like, whatever, you know? The people that told people in authority what was going on did the right thing. Unfortunately, the people that were in authority did not do the right thing. But in this case, fortunately, justice is served. Now, that leads to the next story I saw online today. And this video is going to talk about a lot of things that I can speak from experience. And I can speak from the perspective of I know what I'm talking about. Well, the next story I found online today just happened to pop up on my Facebook thread from Yahoo. And it talked about a 10-year-old girl weighing 32 pounds found in a closet, soaked in urine, malnourished, 32 pounds. I mean, my son is 10 and he weighs somewhere between 40 and 50 pounds. But it's because of his disability and how tiny of a person he is. So there's a reason for his. He's not malnourished. He's well taken care of. His disability doesn't allow him to grow very quickly. You know, it doesn't allow him to gain weight. In any case, the point is this. This little girl, according to the story, and I'm going to put a link down below to this one, but according to the story, from what I could read, the little girl, this has gone on for like 6 years. Maybe not. Definitely read this story. People asked. The woman's boyfriend had no clue. The neighbors had no clue that more than 2 girls lived there. She had 2 other daughters that she treated like princesses. And put this girl in a closet, locked her in a closet. Didn't feed her. Didn't do anything for her. Wouldn't let her go to the bathroom. She had to pee in the closet. Because her mom was an abusive fucking piece of shit. Now, maybe there was a part where she talked about when she used to wet her pants, her mom would punch her in the back. So there was obviously some physical abuse as well. Why did this little girl have to go through this? Because no one stood up for her. No one said anything. There was something obviously wrong. Although this woman apparently did a very good job of hiding her for most people, there had to have been people that know this woman had 3 daughters. There had to have been people that went, why aren't we seeing this other kid? You know, they had to. And finally it came down to somebody called the authorities and said, hey, you know, what is up? I haven't seen this child in this amount of time. And the authorities looked into it and took her. You know, and this kind of goes along with Seth's video today about his elementary school when he was a kid. And all the shit he went through. And why did the teacher and the principal, why did the teachers and all the people at that school get away with the way they treated the kids? Because nobody would say anything. The people that might, and you know, kids, what are they going to say? They're terrified. But adults, there had to have been some adults in that school that knew, and none of them would say anything. So these kids would go through this all the fucking time. When I was being abused when I was little, when I was being physically abused, why didn't it stop until I was 14? Maybe a little younger. The real true abuse stopped when I was about 10, 11. But even after that, my mom would still attack me and stuff. You know, after she went and got counseling, you know, I told you guys that story. I'm not going to go too deeply into it. But what finally stopped it was somebody said something. Somebody finally stood up and said something. You know, and it's just so fucking sad that that is the root of the problem, is that, you know, if people are bad people, they're going to be bad people. If they're bad parents, they're going to be bad parents. But as a society, we don't do enough to say, hey, this is going on in front of me. I need to tell somebody. I've seen times where I've been in the store and I've seen something going on, and I had to go and literally say something to, you know, a security guard, or there are times when I walk straight up to the person and say, what the fuck are you doing? Because I was a victim of that shit, and I will not watch it go down in front of me. And that is, but I've seen it. I've seen it when nobody helps, and until somebody like me walks in and says, hey, what the fuck? You know, and they turn their heads and they look like it's not happening, and you hear all these kids that are beat on and everything, and, you know, well, the neighbors, you know, they find these kids dead sometimes. The neighbor's like, well, we always heard screaming and wondered what was going on, but we figured it wasn't our business. A child being harmed is everyone's business. Every person on this planet's business. If a child is being harmed by someone that they can't defend themselves from, especially a small child, it is all of our business, and it's all of our responsibility to say something. So, with that being said, that is my point in this video. You know, from Jerry Sandusky to this lady putting her kid in the closet, to my abuse, to the shit Seth went through when he was at school, to all these things, say something. If you see this happening, say something. It is so paramount to absolutely open your mouth and tell people what's going on. Because sometimes the child is too terrified of the consequences if they say something themselves, or they've already been brainwashed enough by the abuser that they believe they're going to be harmed if they open their mouth about it. So don't ever, 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 ever hesitate to say, hey, this is going on. Peace. Much family love.